Welcome to St Gabriel's Sunday School at Home. It's really good to be with you again. Hope you enjoyed our visitor last week, Izzy. It was good to hear her miracle again. Now, today's miracle is the story of Peter walking on water. Now, that can be found in Matthew's Gospel. But first, I thought we'd have a little experiment. Now, for this experiment, you need 2 oranges. One of them needs to be peeled. And the second one, keep that with the peel on. And you also need a jug or a clear plastic tub filled with water. And the reason for that is that you need to be able to see what is going to happen in your experiment. What I want you to do is to make a prediction about what you think is going to happen. Okay, I'm going to put both the oranges in the water, and I want you to think about what is going to happen. Are they both going to float? Is one going to float, one going to sink? Which one is going to float or which one is going to sink? And let's see if you are right, and then you can try this at home. So let's put one in first. Okay, that one floated. Oh, and that one sank. Now, the reason being is that the pith around the outside, that has tiny pores, and that gives it buoyancy. So when you take the pith off, it loses its buoyancy, and that's why it sinks down to the bottom. Now, before we get to our story, has anybody been swimming? I'm sure lots of you have been swimming. Now, when you jump in, what actually happens? Let's take a look at this video.
Hey, Sean! Maddie! Thomas! Isabel! Anthony! Amy! Tracy! Woohoo!
So, we found out when you go swimming and you jump in, that's it. You go down into the water. Let's have a look at this Bible story now of Peter and Jesus in the water.
God's story. Peter walks on water. So remember how part of God's story is about a guy named Simon who was renamed Peter because he was one of the first people to follow Jesus? Well, it goes like this. Peter left everything to follow Jesus with 11 other guys. They were called disciples. And one day, they were with Jesus while he was teaching a large crowd. After teaching, Jesus wanted some time alone to pray. He told his disciples to go ahead of him in a boat across the Sea of Galilee. Later that night, the wind picked up, and the boat was surrounded by crashing waves. Meanwhile, Jesus decided to join them. And since Jesus can do anything, he walked out to the boat, right on top of the water. When the disciples saw a man walking across the dark sea, they had no idea it was Jesus. They thought it was a ghost. Jesus said, "Be brave. It's me. Don't be afraid." Peter decided to find out for himself. He said, "If it's you, tell me to come to you on the water." So Jesus said, "Come." Kids, if Jesus told you to step out onto the stormy waves, would you do it? Well, Peter did. He got out and walked on top of the water just like Jesus. As soon as he saw the crashing waves, though, he got scared and started to sink. Jesus caught him and said, "Your faith is so small. Why did you doubt me?" It might sound kind of surprising that Jesus called Peter's faith small when he was the only one brave enough to get out of the boat. But the truth is, Jesus is powerful and can help us do anything. He wants us to trust him even when it makes no sense or scary things are happening around us. When Jesus and Peter climbed into the boat, all the disciples realized Jesus is most definitely the Son of God. So they worshiped him. And that's part of the story of Peter. So, in case you missed it, Here's the quick version. Peter was a disciple. The disciples got in a boat. Jesus prayed. Waves crashed. Jesus walked on water. The disciples got scared. Jesus told Peter to come. Peter walked on water. He saw the waves. He got scared. He sunk. Jesus caught him. The disciples worshiped Jesus. And that's a part of God's story.
So Jesus said to them, "Take courage, it is I. Do not be afraid." Wow. Jesus really can do amazing things. What a great miracle that is to have, and that is to know that Jesus can really do miracles, and that we really do need to take courage and believe in him. Now, I thought we could have some fun doing some junk modelling. If you can save up your recycling over this next week, then here's some pictures on the screen for you to have a look at, some ideas. Get some sellotape and some felt tips and some paper, and use your imaginations to run wild. Make some boats, float them on water, see whether they do float, see where they sink. Maybe put a Lego person in to see whether it floats. Have a little go. Now, a prayer. I want you to have a look at this video. It's a stormy sea. And as you're watching this video, think about the times in your life which are a bit stormy at the moment, which are a bit rough. It might be that you're doing exams at the moment. It might be you're struggling with your spellings. It might be that you're struggling with which school you don't know which to go to. Just think about those times where you need a little bit of help, a little bit of encouragement through God. And just be still, and as you watch this, just say, "Please God, be with me and help me." And I pray that you have a really good week, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.